All right. So, Minnesota, short week. These guys won 3 in a row. Finding ways to win, playing really good defense and, controlling the ball over there offensively. A little more ground and pound and play action, So, got our hands full, but it's what we're charged with, next one up.
Playing an opponent a second time. What's the point of emphasis when you look at that first game and the loss there? What's the thing that's top of your list of this is what we have to do better to beat this team this time around?
Well, I mean, we had some penalties that killed us. We had a lot of MAs, and we turned the ball over. Had a blocked field goal, So there was a number of things we did in that game that that were self-induced, so we got to be really disciplined, play disciplined football on the road. It's going to be loud there. And the things we can't control, we have to control them, let's take care of that. And then we can play Minnesota.
Colin was listed as a non-participant on your injury report today with the knee. How serious is that thing?
Not sure. I mean, I'm not, We'll know more a little bit later, but this is just something that just popped up when he came in today. So hopeful this is something, just some type of irritation from the game. That's what I'm hoping, but I'll know more later. I'll know more tonight.
Regarding the ground game yesterday, Dan, you abandoned it late for obvious reasons, but when you went back and looked at the tape, schematics, execution, why wasn't it clicking for you guys yesterday?
Yeah, there was a couple of them that were, schematically, didn't give our guys a chance there. One of them, they run it down backside, can't get away from that one. And then just, there was an execution. And we just kind of took our turns with how that went. And as you guys know, I think it takes really all 11 guys to get the run game going. Everybody's got to be on par. So, one time it's one player here, whether it's in the O-line or at another spot. It's not just there. The backs are involved, receivers, tight ends. So we just kind of took turns with whether it was some of the combinations or we're not honoring the ID or maybe it's not the right read. But yeah, there was a couple in there. I wish I could have had a couple of calls back.
Curious with Christian, he was limping pretty fiercely in the locker room after that. He's still trying clearly to get past some of the pain hurdles there. You've let a few players, kind of play through and give you that heads up. Terrion being an example. Davenport's still kind of banged up. What goes into the decision there where a guy is maybe not 100%? There is maybe a risk of something going south like it did with Terrion. Like how do you balance player wanting to fight through it and protecting them from themselves?
Yeah, well, I think it's the type of injury. It's what is that, and can it get worse, significantly worse? Like, of course, there's a chance for it to feel worse. But is it structurally? Are we talking about something that's going to be a career ender if we keep playing? Well, that's totally different. But the things where it's not going to have that type of effect doesn't mean it won't feel good. But you feel ready to go. I'm hearing from everybody that you're healed. You're 100% healed, and now it's just about getting your feet back under. You just got to play. They've done all they can do. And all you can do now is play the game, and that's the best thing for you to get you back. So as long as we check the box on all those, we try to make it go.
Dan, we obviously we know the secondary's had some injuries, but how do you explain the way the defense has played over these last 5 games with a relatively healthy front seven?
Yeah, we're just it's as you guys know, the rush and coverage always go together, and we have not worked in unison at for a number of plays. I mean, we've gotten hit on a number of plays, and so some of that is we play a certain style, right? And then if you feel like you're not executing there, then you try to get some help in areas. Well, I kind of mentioned this last week. When you do that, then you expose yourself and others. And that happened a little bit yesterday. We tried to play with a lighter box, and then we got hit in the run game. Some of them, we missed some tackles that showed up. Where we fit, who the support player is, that showed. And, it's too much, man. It's not sustainable. But, listen, you live and you learn. And, we've had some young guys that are getting valuable reps right now. And they're going to learn from them and grow from them.
Dan, there were a lot of comments yesterday after the game from players, and I believe you even kind of alluded to it yourself about we've maybe lost our identity a little bit. Is that a resiliency thing? Is that a coaching thing? Is that a mentality thing? Where and how can you work on getting that back?
Yeah, well, I'm always going to put that on myself. I'm the head coach, so I think that comes from me.
People take stock of the season. They look back at that loss to Minnesota as a demarcation point for this year. I mean, do you buy into the fact that one game can change the course of a season?
Not necessarily. I mean, there was other games that we were in that we weren't able to get a grasp of. I mean, we had opportunities to get back in that Philly game, and we couldn't close. We were down in the red zone, and defense got us the ball back there, and we weren't able to do anything with it. Now certainly we did a number of things wrong against Minnesota game one. I mean, everything you can do wrong in all three phases, we did them, and then some. So that was probably collectively our worst game that we've played of the season, and everybody had a hand in that. Significant hand in that. So, no, I mean, you don't want those to happen, but it happened, and then at some point you got to find a way to make up for it in another one of those games.
Clock management at the end of the first half, just kind of in general, I've heard from people that's like the trickiest thing to manage, just right. You keeping it away from other teams, and you guys had a situation yesterday where you sort of ran an extra play before the 2 minute, and then that left them a little bit of time on the back end. Just philosophically, what are you trying to do there, and any thing you do different about yesterday's?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I just told the guys, I told Goff to tell them to stay in bounds, and but then you're sitting there and you feel like you have a real good feeling of what you're about to get coverage-wise, and you like the play that you got. So it's hard not to take the shot. And Goff made a hell of a throw. Tesla, it's a hell of a play, hell of a catch. And so, yeah, I mean, ideally, man, if you could have both. And so you do. You weigh it. And chose to go for the shot and left a little bit of time out there.
One right before the 2 minute. Like, could you have taken that play, that third down play, and run that after the 2 minute, to waste 40 more seconds there?
Yeah, sure. I think we could have done that, Could have done that.
Dan, Kingsley yesterday making his first start. Just what did you think about him when you watched the film back?
I thought it was really encouraging. I really did. I mean, for his first game to go out there, I thought he competed. I thought he fought. I thought he played fast. It was very encouraging.
Dan, your team has been built on kind of controlling the trenches for a number of years now, and that's slipped down for the past couple of games. Playoffs or not, just how important is it to kind of re-seize control of that part of the game over these final two games? Reimpose yourselves, I guess.
Yeah, it's vital. It's vital. Because it's extremely difficult to control anything if you can't control the run game. The pass game's one thing, and nobody likes that either. But if we can't get the run game in our favor, it becomes very, very difficult.
What was your message to the team today?
Move forward. We got 3 days here of practice for these guys to get the mental work, to recover. Make sure they get rest when they leave here and get back to work. And, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Nobody cares. We got a game plan ready for them. they got to go out there and digest it as fast as they can and be ready to go, man, emotionally, psychologically, physically by the time Thursday hits. That's the message.
I just wanted to kind of follow up. Perhaps I didn't ask my question in a thorough enough manner. Do you feel like there's a way with just 2 games left that you can talk about the identity? How do you reclaim that a little bit, to Will's point of kind of reinforcing your will in the run game and winning in the trenches, those places that you were previously so strong and that was your identity? How can you get it back with just 2 games to go?
I think you just do it. You just do it.